Hi everyone, welcome back. We have got some serious empty products to go through today. I feel like every time I film these videos, I don't realize how many empty things I actually have. And this time, like, this thing is packed full. So I have a lot of stuff in here, a lot of skincare, some makeup, of course, some hair things. So we're gonna go through this and I will tell you what I thought of the product, if I would buy it again, or maybe I already have. I will let you know. But that is today's video. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on my channel. I would love for you to subscribe. But let's go ahead and just get into these products. Okay, I'm gonna kind of grab some of these that are on the very top here. So hopefully, as I'm lifting this bin, they don't fall out because Woods is napping and I need him to take his nap so we can get this done, okay? My moms out there understand. Okay, let's start with an easy one. So I actually used this up this morning, but I already had one of these in my empties. So I have two of these from Paul Mitchell. These are the hot off the press thermal heat protectant. So I know I've mentioned this in several empties videos in the past. I still use this. So this is the older packaging. This is what it looks like now, but it's the same product. So this is a heat protectant, but it's also like a hairspray. So it's like a 2-in-1. So I use this if my hair is already dry. So if I didn't blow dry it the night before and I just let it air dry, which I do that quite a bit, the next day when I curl it, I use this because it's an aerosol spray, and I swear it not only protects my hair from the heat, but it also, I feel like, holds my curls better because I can get like 3-4 days of wear out of my hair when I curl it with a curling iron, but I think a lot of that is because I use this product. So I have already repurchased this. I think I've bought this like 7 or 8 times at this point. It's my favorite, highly recommend. Next is a skincare product. This is from the brand Dieux. They make a lot of really popular products. They're kind of known for their angel cream in the white tube, which is really great. But this is the Gentle Foaming Facial Gel Cleanser, the fragrance-free one. I really liked this. So this was just a clear gel cleanser that did foam up a little bit. Sometimes I like a foaming cleanser, especially in the summertime when, I don't know, I feel like I obviously sweat more during the day. If I have makeup on and sunscreen, sometimes I just, at the end of the day, really want something that foams. That's why I bought this, and I really enjoyed it, actually. It's, you know, it's a foamy gel cleanser, nothing earth-shattering that I've never seen before. I don't know that I love this enough to buy it again, but I did enjoy it and I thought it was a nice product. Now, something that I will purchase again for sure is this cleanser from La Roche-Posay. So this is the Toleriane Moisturizing Milky Cleanser. I think I've mentioned this in a video before, but this cleanser they used to make in a smaller bottle. It didn't have a pump. It was just like a squeeze tube. I used that years ago and I loved it, but they finally came out with it in the bigger size with the pump, and I love this cleanser. This does not foam. So this is a thicker cleanser that it's milky, but it's thick. It's not like a watery texture. So it's really moisturizing, or it feels like it is on the skin. It doesn't strip the skin. I use this in the mornings when I cleanse. So I don't use a foaming cleanser in the morning since I don't have anything on my skin. I just don't feel like I need it, but I do like to cleanse my skin with something, and this has been my favorite. I just remembered I did already buy a new one of these, so I did repurchase this. And if you want just a really good, soothing, thicker cleanser, I highly recommend this one. I used up this body wash from Saltair. So Saltair is one of my new favorite brands. I used this up. This is the body wash in Golden Hour, which I loved. I would absolutely buy this again. But since using this up, I have purchased something else from Saltair that's a different scent, but it's called Coral Coast. It's in a pink bottle. I think it's a newer scent to Saltair, but it smells kind of similar to this, but it's, I guess, a little bit more fruity maybe than this one. I heard about it from Nikki LaRose. She recommended it and I bought it. I bought their body scrub and it's fantastic. But prior to that, I had this and I loved it. Everything I've tried from this Saltair brand, I've absolutely loved. This body wash was really nice. It did lather really well, which I love. And the scent is just so good. It smells very similar to Way, the St. Bart scent, if you're familiar with that. This one is very, very close to that. I also love this brand because of the packaging. The packaging is so just nice to look at. I know that doesn't really matter, but in your shower, it's nice to have something that doesn't look, you know, not nice. As weird as that sounds, I don't know. I'm into packaging, so I appreciate that about brands. And this brand is relatively affordable. It's not extremely inexpensive, but it's less expensive than a lot of body care brands, and I love it. So highly recommend this. Okay, then I have several products from Anua. So Anua is a Korean skincare brand. You're probably familiar with it. So I've been through a bunch of their things. The first thing is the PDRN Hyaluronic Acid Hydrating Capsule Mist. Okay, this is one of those products that I guess you could say kind of went viral. It was everywhere for a while. I bought it, and you know what? This product was fine, but what I will say about sprays like this is just sprays in general. I don't really find that they're that necessary or that beneficial because a lot of times I feel like only some of the mist is actually hitting my face. Do you know what I mean? Like this one had a really fine mister, which was nice, but like it's so fine that like I feel like not a whole lot of it is actually hitting my face. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just find that if I'm going to use something like this, I prefer like an actual Milky toner or something that I can put in my hands and then apply to my face. I just don't love a spray. Every time I use one, I'm kind of like, Blair, why did you buy that? Why did you buy that? Because that really didn't do a whole lot for you. It was a nice hydrating spray. I don't really know the science behind the PDRN, but I think that's a thing right now, especially with Korean skincare. And it was a nice spray. I liked it. Obviously, I used it up, but would I like go out of my way to buy this again? No. I went through 2 toners from Anua. So the first one is the Heartleaf Soothing Toner. This is probably one of the things they're the most known for. It's just a clear, very watery toner. I typically use this first after cleansing. I use something like this first, and this was nice. This has a lot of things that I really love, like panthenol, great for sensitive skin. It has glycerin in it, all kinds of really hydrating and soothing ingredients, and I enjoyed it. I don't know that it's like a top favorite in terms of toners that I've used because I've used so many and I have favorites that I am like very loyal to. This one was fine. I liked it. I did feel like it was very soothing on my skin, but it wasn't like a standout product for me, but I did like it. And kind of the same thing goes for the Rice Ceramide Toner. So this was kind of the same thing, just with some different ingredients. It's a little bit more milky than the one I just showed you. It was still very watery, so it's not like a thicker milky toner. This is still very much a watery consistency. And again, I liked it. It wasn't like a top favorite though. It's kind of the same thing as that last one, just different ingredients. So I liked it. Do I think it's like absolutely necessary? No. Did it do anything that some of my other favorites don't do? No. But was it nice? Yes. Then I have a serum from the brand Purito. This is the Wonder Relief Centella Serum Unscented. So I think you can get this with a fragrance as well. This was kind of a thicker gel serum that is for sensitivity, so redness or any type of irritation in the skin. I didn't notice a whole lot from this, to be honest. I mean, it was fine. It didn't irritate my skin in any way. It didn't do anything negative for my skin, but I didn't see a significant difference in terms of soothing the skin or just anything noticeable after I used it. So I wouldn't go out of my way to buy this again. It was fine though, and it has great, really soothing ingredients in it if you have a lot of redness or just sensitivity in general. you might like this, but for me personally, it didn't do anything spectacular. This was such a random thing that I bought. This is from Dermalogica and it's the Precleanse. So I have heard about this product for years. I'm not super familiar with Dermalogica products. I haven't used a lot of them, but I was in Ulta one day and I just picked this up. I don't know why, to be honest, because it was pretty expensive and it's just an oil cleanser. It was fine. It removed my makeup well. I don't have any complaints about it, but yeah, I don't know why I spent the money on this. You totally do not need to spend a lot on a cleansing balm, a cleansing oil, or a cleanser, in my opinion, if you don't want to. But this was nice. It did a great job of removing makeup and sunscreen. It did have kind of an herbal scent to it, which honestly I kind of like, but I can see where if you're sensitive to fragrances or essential oils, you might not love that about this product, but I will say it worked really well. But for what it is, I wouldn't buy this again, but it was nice. Okay, next was definitely a love for me, the Cyklar Bergamot Bond body wash. Okay, I've already bought this again. I did a video on Instagram and I talked about this, but I loved the scent of this. Like, if you like something really kind of earthy, woody, musky, it kind of reminds me of like trees or almost Christmas trees a little bit, like balsam a little bit, you will love this. And this is one that, like, you can smell this after you get out of the shower. I loved this stuff. Loved it enough that I went out and bought more of it. This was my first time trying anything from this brand and I loved it. Highly recommend. I haven't tried the other scents, but I know a lot of the other ones are really popular. But I loved this one. It lathered really well, which is like a non-negotiable for me. I hate it when I buy a body wash and it won't lather. I don't know. Maybe lathering is probably not great for your skin, but I just like something that lathers really well. And this one did. So yes, absolutely loved it. Bought this again. And I also bought the body cream that is the same scent. So I'm using that now. So I'll let you know on that, but loved this product. Then I went through the L'Oreal Bond Repair, so the shampoo and the conditioner. These were good. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't buy this again. Of all the Bond Repair systems that I've tried, my favorite by far is the one from Dove. I just feel like my hair is noticeably like more manageable when I use that, because I have very coarse hair, very thick hair, and it can be very frizzy and just kind of hard to manage in general. So anything that helps me with that, I'm all about it. And this one was fine. I didn't love the scent. It was okay, but it wasn't anything that I like looked forward to using. For me, if I don't love the smell of a hair care product, I won't use it. Like, I don't care how good it is, I won't use it. And this was just okay to me, kind of all around. So I wouldn't buy these again. They weren't bad, but not like great either. I used up the Thayers Hydrating Milky Cleanser. This was okay. I wouldn't buy this again. It was definitely more of like a watery, milky texture, which is not my favorite. I like the La Roche-Posay one a lot more. It's just a lot thicker, and I just felt like it left my skin feeling a lot more hydrated than this one did. This one was fine, but it's not my favorite. I wouldn't buy this again. And of course, they're doing the yard next door, so if you hear that in the background, I'm sorry, but this is my only time today to film this video, so we're just gonna have to keep going. I have a few products from EOS, so I had not really tried much from EOS except their egg, what were those balms called that were the round egg balms years ago? What were those called? They were the EOS ones. Haven't tried EOS since then, but I used the Cashmere body wash in the shade Fresh and Cozy. This smelled fantastic and that's why I bought it, but this did not lather at all, like at all. And at first I thought, okay, well maybe I'm not using enough, so I would use a little bit more, but it still would barely lather. I don't like that at all. So for that reason, I wouldn't buy this again. It does smell really good. It smells similar to that Cyklar, the Bergamot Bond. And of course this one is less expensive than that one, so I wish it did lather well, but it didn't. So I personally would not buy that again. Same with this from EOS. This is the same line, but it's the shave oil and the fresh and cozy scent. I go back and forth on shave oils. Sometimes I feel like they work really well and sometimes I don't. This one was okay. Honestly, I wish you got more product. I feel like this is a pretty small size for this type of product because it didn't last me very long, and the scent was fine, but I don't know. It says like it protects, softens the skin, prevents irritation and all those things. I didn't really notice anything substantial in using this. It was just okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything great either. I am trying out another one right now from Bioderma. It's the one that comes in the big bottle. I can't think of the name of it, but it's an oil. So I'm using that instead now to test out. But this one, it was okay. Wouldn't buy it again though. Ooh, the Garnier Erase It All Makeup Cleansing Balm. So I actually loved this. This is one of my favorite cleansing balms that you can get at the drugstore. I also like the Banila one. Y'all have seen me talk about that many times. In fact, I probably have one in here somewhere. This is just as good as that one. This one does have kind of a weird smell. That's the only thing. It has kind of a, it's kind of an odd smell. It's like a little bit off-putting. I've also used the yellow one, the vitamin C one. That one also has a little bit of a weird smell, but this is a nice cleansing balm. It does a really nice job of removing makeup, and I enjoyed it overall. This is nice because you can just pick up Garnier pretty much anywhere. Walmart, Target, CVS, Walgreens, wherever, which is nice. So it's a good cleansing balm. I don't know that it's my absolute favorite. I would probably choose my Banila over this one, but it was good. I think you'd like it if you're in need of one and you see this one. It's good. I am right now using the Prequel one. I just started using it though, so I don't really have thoughts on it yet, but I did like this. Speaking of, yeah, I figured I did have one of these. This was the jumbo size too. See, if you don't know, you can get these Banila ones in different sizes. This is the really big one, and this one did last me a really long time. I've been using this for years, and I still go back to it. It's pretty affordable. You can get it at Ulta or Amazon, or I think they have it on like the Korean skincare websites as well. It's just great. Highly recommend this one if you're in the need of a new cleansing balm. That one is great. Now, okay, I went through these. These I'm really sad about. I actually loved this line from Kerastase. These are the Resistance Bane Force Architect. The Kerastase line is so confusing. There's so many names on these bottles, but the blue one. So I have the shampoo and the mask. Love the smell. Such a nice, clean smell. Smells like a hair salon. You know the smell when you go into pretty much any hair salon. They have a certain smell. It smells like clean hair. That's what this smells like. Like it still smells like that and it's empty. I loved these. Loved the shampoo. I mean, honestly, I don't think you need to spend a ton of money on shampoos and conditioners. I like a lot of things from the drugstore. I also like things that are more expensive. I use a mixture of everything. I really enjoyed this though. My hair does really well with both of these. My favorite of the two though is definitely the mask. So this I wouldn't use every time I wash my hair, but I use it like every other time. And it's a really thick, rich hair mask. If you have a lot of hair, if you have thick hair, coarse hair, frizzy hair, color treated hair, any of those things, this is a phenomenal hair mask. Every time I use this, my hair was noticeably softer and just less frizzy. I have very frizzy hair. It may not look like it on camera, but I do. I work really hard styling it to not have it look frizzy. So anything that helps with that, I'm all about it. And honestly, I liked this enough, I would buy it again. Okay, a few products I got in PR. This is from a brand I'm not super familiar with. It's Iota. It's the Super Mochi Body Exfoliator. So it's like a salt scrub, basically. Did not like this at all. I forced myself to use it up, but I definitely would not buy this with my own money. It was one of those scrubs that it was kind of liquidy. Like there was some scrubby little particles in it, but it was very liquidy. There weren't a ton of the exfoliating beads in it, so it didn't feel like it was doing a whole lot. It also didn't smell great. I know I keep commenting on the smell of stuff, but smell is very important to me in like body care products, and if I don't love the smell, that's like automatically a no from me. Yeah, like now I'm smelling it right now. It does not smell good. This was a no for me. I don't think it exfoliated my skin very well at all. It just kind of felt like a liquid with a few little beads in it that I was rubbing all over that didn't smell good and didn't really do anything. So I would say that would be a definite pass for me. Another pass would be this cleansing oil from Dom Dom, I think is how you say it. The Silk Rice Cleansing Oil. I got this in PR. It's just a cleansing oil to remove makeup. It was fine. Nothing special about it though, and it's kind of expensive for a cleansing oil. Yeah, nothing special. I would not buy this with my own money. There's nothing about it that was worth the price, in my opinion. I used up the Paula's Choice 10% azelaic acid booster. 100% would buy this again and would recommend it. I've talked about this in a few videos, but I started using this last year right after I had woods. I started using this just to kind of even out my skin tone a little bit. I got quite a bit of melasma when I was pregnant, and I do think this worked really well at getting rid of majority of the melasma that I had. And I don't know, something about this just made my skin look better overall. It looked more even, a little bit less red. It does have licorice root in it, which I love. It's really soothing. And it also has some salicylic acid in there, which is good for blemishes or pores. I don't know. I feel like my skin did really well with this, and I feel like I'll definitely use azelaic acid from now on moving forward. And I really liked this, so I would definitely recommend that one. Another product, okay, this is, I bet I've been through 10 of these, and it's from the brand Acwell. I've definitely mentioned this before, but this is also a toner. It's the Licorice pH Balancing Cleansing Toner. So this is not really a milky toner. It's clear. It does a little bit of everything. It kind of hydrates the skin. It balances the skin's pH. So when you apply this, you can almost feel your skin kind of like balance out a little bit, as weird as that sounds. So if you feel like dry or you feel oily at all, you put this on and your skin just kind of feels balanced. I don't know how else to describe it. That's what I would say that this works really well for. It also is brightening for the skin. It has licorice root again, which is great. If you're, wanting to get rid of melasma or just maybe your skin is more dull overall, this is a great first toner before like a milky toner, and I've consistently repurchased this. In fact, I already have a backup of this, so yes, absolutely, and already have purchased this again. Okay, then I bought the Bioma Hydrating Milky Moisturizer. Now, I bought this because I've seen so many people compare this to the Tatcha, the Dewy Milk Moisturizer, so I bought this. No. Nowhere near the same thing, not even close. This is very thin. There's like no thickness to it. It felt like a very basic, thin gel moisturizer to me. That was nothing special at all. So not similar to the Tatcha. Sad to say, the Tatcha is much thicker and it leaves noticeable glow to the skin. This one really didn't do much of anything to me. There wasn't anything bad about it, but it definitely is not like the Tatcha one. So don't fall for that. If you see that on social media, it's not the same thing. It's not even close, actually. So yeah, I wouldn't buy this again. It was fine. It does have panthenol in it, which, like I said earlier, I love for just soothing and calming the skin. But other than that, this was not what I was hoping for, so I would not buy this again. Ooh, okay. I actually forgot I went through this, but this is the Beauty of Joseon Dieux SPF 50. Okay, I loved this actually. This is the SPF that you can get at Sephora from Beauty of Joseon now, and it's similar to their original one that's in a tube like this, but this one is slightly more glowy than the original, and it is a chemical SPF, but this is one that does really well under makeup. It didn't cause pilling or anything like that, and this is pretty affordable. I want to say it's like $16, maybe $18, I forget. but I enjoyed it. I would highly recommend this and I would buy this again. The Pharmacy Green Clean Gentle Creamy Cleanser. This was fine. Nothing special. It did, I want to say this one did foam a little bit. So I didn't use this in the morning. I really only use this at nighttime when I had makeup on my face. And again, like it was fine. I rarely try cleansers that I'm like blown away by. I like to kind of switch it up and try new things. This one was fine, nothing bad about it. It was pretty hydrating, I would say, and pretty soothing to the skin. It did foam, but I didn't feel like it like dried my skin out or anything. So I liked it, but I didn't like just love it. I will say this type of packaging is kind of hard to get the last little bit out. Once I got kind of towards the bottom, it's kind of hard to get out. So I don't love that about this type of packaging for a cleanser. And it was fine, but nothing super special. And oh, okay, now this is a great product. I would buy this again. This is the Extreme Cream from N Beauty Project Firming and Lifting Moisturizer. So this is actually this is more of a thick cream. So if you have super oily skin, you might not love this. It might be a little bit too heavy for you, but I will say this is a moisturizer that I actually loved before makeup and also at nighttime before bed. But I am someone that loves a thicker moisturizer. That's just what I prefer, especially at nighttime. But this also does really well under makeup. If you use this with a sunscreen, you really don't need to apply anything else. This does a really nice job of kind of plumping up the skin, prepping the skin for makeup, and hydrating, of course. So yeah, I loved this. It's in a really nice heavy bottle, and yeah, this was viral for a while, and I actually think it was worth it with this product. I like this and I would buy it again. Oh, okay. The Medic 8 C Tetra Advanced Vitamin C Gel Serum. So I try vitamin C's all the time. I'm always testing new ones. This was my first time trying this and I loved it. This was different from other vitamin C's that I've tried because this was not like a watery vitamin C. This was like a serum. So it had some thickness to it and it felt really hydrating on the skin as well. It didn't have the weird like hot dog smell. You know that smell that vitamin C's can have sometimes. This one did not have that, and this one also did well under makeup, which that's something I find with vitamin C's is sometimes I feel like they do cause issues with makeup and sunscreen. Sometimes I think they can make it pill, and I don't know, sometimes I feel like they can be a little bit finicky in terms of applying makeup. This one did not. I really enjoyed this. I would buy this again. However, you know what I did buy? Because I've always wanted to try it and I finally got it. The Skin, what is it? The Skin Ceuticals, the one that everybody talks about, the CE Ferulic. I bought that right after I used this up because I wanted to use that since that's like for years been the gold standard of vitamin C's. I know there are a lot now that say that it's not worth it. There are dupes out there for it. I bought it because I was just curious and I wanted to try it. So I'm in the middle of trying that right now because I wanted to compare it to this, and I'm not really sure what I think of that one so far, but this one I can confidently say I recommend and I would actually buy this again. Okay, well, what's next? Oh, another one of these. We already talked about it. Yes, I've been through so many of those and love it. Okay, here is a product from Anua that I loved. Loved it. This is the Rice Ceramide Barrier Serum. Okay, this is fantastic. This is kind of like the CosRx Snail Mucin serum that was really popular a few years ago. It's not quite as tacky as that one was, but it's similar. And this leaves like a noticeable glassy effect to your skin. So if you like that, great makeup prep product. I was honestly sad when I used this up. I was like scraping everything out that I could. I would buy this again for sure. It's a little bit similar to the Experiment, the blue serum that I love that I now can't think of the name of, but it's in the round packaging with a pump like this. It's similar to that, not quite as tacky as that one. A little bit more lightweight, but very similar, and I loved it. I would definitely buy this again. And then I did also use this vitamin C. This is the Dom Dom Citrus Glow Vitamin C Hyaluronic Serum. So this is the same brand as that cleansing oil I showed you earlier. I got this in PR. It was fine. This was kind of a milkier serum and it was fine. But there was one thing about this. This smelled like straight up lemon water. You know, when you're at a restaurant and you get a really big water, I think of like, I don't know, like sports bars and things. You get like a really big water and you get lemon in it. You squeeze the lemon in. That is exactly how this smelled. Not sure if you needed that description, but my point is it's very, very, very strong lemony citrus scent, which I did not love. I mean, it's better than like the typical vitamin C serum smell, but I didn't love that. So I wouldn't buy this with my own money. Oh, okay. These are some good ones. So the Mimua Radiance Cream. Loved this. I did do a partnership with them a few months ago. This is not sponsored, but I did do one with them a while back. Loved this. So this is an extremely thick moisturizer. So I only used this at night, but this is a really thick cream that has tiny little beads in it, and the beads contain all the good ingredients. So the niacinamide, this also had thiotic acid in it, which I believe is kind of like vitamin C, something that's very similar. It had the, what is the other thing? Niacinamide and something else. I forget. There's another ingredient in here that I love, but this stuff, if you like a thick, really nourishing cream for nighttime, you will love this. Love it, and it's pretty affordable. This is another Korean brand and it's fantastic. I feel like this brand is highly underrated personally. I thoroughly enjoyed this. And okay, another product from the same brand I loved as well. This is the Volume Up Time Block Serum. So this has volufiline in it. So volufiline is kind of like a buzzword that you hear in skincare now. And it's supposed to, I think, kind of give you the effect of Botox without the Botox, obviously. It's supposed to plump the skin and help with just fine lines, wrinkles, dullness, aging in general, I would say, on the skin. And I do think it does make the skin look very plump. So if you have a lot of wrinkles or just areas of the face that you would like to smooth out a little bit, this is a great product. I also use this under my eyes. I don't know if you're supposed to, but I did, and I loved it there as well. It also has beta-glucan, which is another really hydrating, nourishing ingredient. I also made sure to bring this on my neck. It's supposed to be good for like if you have a lot of neck lines, like tech neck or anything like that. This is supposed to be great for that as well. And I do recommend this brand. Everything I've tried from them, I've really, really liked. Okay, something that a lot of people love that I don't get the hype on is this. Woods is not taking his nap, if you were wondering. My husband had to come save the day so I could finish this video. But this Road Glazing Mist that everybody just goes nuts over. Okay, so kind of like I said with the Anua spray earlier, every time I used this, I felt like not very much was even hitting my face. I feel like the mister, it just kind of flies everywhere. Am I the only one that feels like that? Like I feel like a lot of product is being wasted and I don't know, I just don't get the hype on this. I feel like it's just a big waste of money, to be honest. There's nothing bad about it. Like my skin didn't react in a bad way to it in any way, but I don't know. I feel like this is such an unnecessary gimmicky thing. And it's not just Rhode. A lot of brands are doing these mists like this now, and I just think it's unnecessary. Get a Milky toner, put it in your hand, and press it on your skin so you can actually make sure that you're getting it on your face. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna buy something from Rhode, I still love the glazing milk. Gotta do this when I can. If you want to buy something from Rhode, I do still love the glazing milk. I would just get that and skip this. I don't know. I think this kind of product is unnecessary. So I would not buy this again. Okay, this is so random, but this is the Augustinus Bader hand cream. Okay, I was in a Ross probably a year ago. And Ross, you know, they have random makeup, skincare, hair care. I was looking in the makeup section and I randomly saw this blue bottle, and as soon as I saw it, I didn't even know what it was, but I grabbed it because I recognized the packaging, and I saw it was a hand cream, and I was like, okay, I feel like I have to buy this. It was $6.99. $6.99. I did check. The ingredients are not the same as the rich cream. I was hoping maybe it was going to be the same as that cream that they're so famous for. It's just marketed as a hand cream. The ingredients were different. But anyway, I did use this up as a hand cream, and you know, I would not buy this for the money. I just bought it because I found it for $6.99, but I will say it is a very nice, thick hand cream that really does help if you have like dry cuticles or just dryness on your hands in general. It did work really well, but like, would I buy a hand cream from Augustinus Bader? No. But yeah, I found it at Ross, so make sure you're checking at Ross. You can find some really, really good things there if you just happen to come across them. You just kind of have to check. I did like it though. The Lion, I'm not sure if this is Lion Pose or Lion Posse. I'm guessing it's Pose. Pep Talk Biopeptide Barrier Cream. This came to me in PR. This was fine. I didn't love it enough to buy it with my own money, that's for sure. I did like the packaging. So this one had the packaging where you push it down and the cream comes out, so you don't have to stick your finger in a jar, which I really liked. And it was kind of a gel, slightly thick cream. It was kind of like medium. It wasn't really lightweight and it wasn't super thick. It was kind of right in between. It has a lot of good things in it. It has peptides, ceramides, ashwagandha, all kinds of really great things for the skin. I thought it was fine. But again, nothing that made me think, ooh, I'm sad that I'm out of it. I would buy that with my own money. It was just okay to me. Okay, now this is a product I have repurchased numerous times and I will repurchase it again. I never talk about it in videos, but this is like a staple product for me in my skincare routine. I don't use it every day because it is so expensive, but I do use this. I just don't talk about it because of the price. So this is from Truth Treatments. So Truth Treatments is, I guess you could say, a medical grade skincare. I know there's like a debate over whether medical grade skincare actually exists or not, but this is by Benjamin Knight. He's a cosmetic chemist, I believe, and he has a skincare line. He has tons of products. This is the 1% retinol serum. He's very smart, very intelligent, knows so much about formulas and just how skincare actually works. And you should follow him on Instagram if you're interested in that kind of stuff. He does lives a lot of times, and he just talks about things that are marketing that brands use to sell you products. But this is a 1% retinol serum that helps with cell turnover, helps with all the things that you hear retinol or retinoids are good for. I've never personally tried tretinoin, so I've only ever used something like this, but when I tell you every single time I use this the next day, if I had any type of like little bump under the skin, clogged pores, anything like that, it is almost gone by the next day after I use this. It works great for me. It's never irritated my skin. That's why I think this is my third bottle of this, and I need to buy it again because I just used it up a few days ago. I try to wait for some kind of sale. Typically they'll put it on sale during like Labor Day or Black Friday. You can usually get it on a sale. I think there might have been one for the 4th of July, but I hadn't used it up all the way, so I didn't buy it, but gonna have to buy it again soon. Maybe I'll wait till Labor Day, I don't know. But yeah, this is just one of those products that works, and I notice a difference every time I use it. That's why I've repurchased it, and it's expensive, but you know what? I don't mind, especially in my 30s now. I am perfectly fine with investing in skincare to hopefully keep my skin looking as good as it can as I age, you know? Now, let's see. Okay, this I got in PR. This I loved though. The Clinique Moisture Surge Active Glow Serum. No one talks about this, and I have no idea why. This is a great serum that has all kinds of good things in it. Kind of like a pearlescent type of serum. Kind of gives you a little bit of glow, but there's no shimmer or anything in it. but it has AHA, vitamin C, and hyaluronic acid. So it's kind of like an all-in-one type of serum if you just want to cleanse your skin, put on one product, and then your SPF. It works well under makeup. This was great. I think I saw they just released this in a larger size than this, but this is something I just randomly got in PR and I loved it. So I would actually buy this with my own money. I think it's very underrated. Literally no one talks about it. Okay, a few makeup products. MAC Pro Locked Brow Gel. As you can see, mine has gotten really gross and gunky, so I just kind of gave up the fight. I couldn't get anything else out. I did not love this brow serum. Or brow gel, I mean. It did not hold great for me. And I think a lot of people really like this one. I just used mine up since I had it, but it has kind of a flat, I guess I'll show you. It has a flat, kind of weird looking wand. And maybe it's supposed to be more of like a laminating gel. I don't know. I just didn't find that it held my brows throughout the day. And yeah, so for that reason, I would not buy that again. Also went through the Rare Beauty Brow Gel, and I know this is like so many people's holy grail brow gel, but I don't love it. I think it's fine, but I think the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter is so much better. The hold on that one is just better than everything that I've tried. I know so many people that like this is their holy grail brow gel. In fact, I want to say I bought this before and I bought it again to try it. I feel like I've tried this twice and both times I don't know. I don't get the hype. In my opinion, you cannot do better than Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, period. Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer. I think this is the third one of these that I've been through. Love this product. It's always been in my rotation, literally for probably like close to 4 years now. I feel like this came out like 3 or 4 years ago and I've loved it ever since. I use it up. It is like just one of those products that's foolproof. It is like bronzer for dummies. It's the most creamy, emollient, thin bronze tint that literally anybody can use. I recommend that all the time to anybody. It's great. Love it. I already have a backup of that actually. I went through the Merit 1990 brow pencil. Okay, I actually really liked this brow pencil. It's really tiny, like a micro pencil, which I liked. And this shade worked really great for me in light brown. They call this a sheer gel pencil, and I understand why, because this looks very natural in the brows, even though it is like a traditional brow pencil. It looks very soft, which y'all know I prefer a very soft, natural looking brow. I enjoyed this. However, I will say there is not much product in here. This did not last me very long at all. I used this up really, really quick. So yeah, I love my NYX brow pencils, so I probably would not buy this again, but I did like it. The e.l.f. Incredi-Curl Mascara. This I expected to really love. It was just okay to me, but I did not find that it held a curl like it says that it will. But like I've been saying in recent videos, pretty much every mascara is not holding a curl on me anymore unless it's waterproof. So I don't think it's necessarily this mascara's fault. I think it did really lengthen and separate the lashes, which I love. But in terms of like curling my lashes and keeping them curled, it didn't. So for that reason, I probably wouldn't buy this again. My holy grail from e.l.f., if I'm going to choose one, is the Lash and Roll, which is a very natural looking mascara. So I would buy that one, but probably not this one again. Almost done. Just a few more. Oh, speaking of e.l.f., Lash and Roll. Yes, love this. I've been through many Lash and Rolls. It's just my favorite, really soft, natural mascara, like a little bit of a lash tint. I love it. The Dr. Idris Major Fade Hyper Serum. This was fine. I didn't notice anything really substantial with this though. And it didn't last very long. So this is a product that you pump it out like this. I do remember you got really small amounts of product with one pump of this. So I did find I had to use like multiple pumps to cover my whole face, and it didn't last a super long time, and it's pretty expensive. I just didn't notice anything that would warrant me wanting to buy it again. So it was fine. It did well under makeup. I didn't notice any pilling or anything, but I wouldn't buy it again. The Kiehl's Better Screen UV Serum SPF 50. I did enjoy this. What I will say about this though is this is so hydrating. It makes your skin very glowy and dewy looking. So I would say only for normal dry skin types. If you're oily, even if you're combo, I feel like this might be a little bit too much. It is really nice under makeup, and if you have dry skin, you would probably love this product. There were a few times when I used it, especially if I'd done like my full morning skincare, where once I got to this step and I put this on top, I looked really greasy, like really, really glowy. So if you're not wanting that, I might choose another sunscreen. But if you are dry and you need a good SPF, this would probably work great for you. Just a few more things. NYX Micro Brow. Y'all know I have used this for years and years. I've repurchased over and over. I think this is one of the best brow pencils at the drugstore by far. And yeah, I recommend this to everyone. I repurchase it all the time, so highly recommend that one. Lash serum, the Australia Lash Therapy Eyelash Serum. This actually did work pretty well. This does not have prostaglandins in it. This is, I believe, a peptide-based lash serum. I was using this, but I ran out of this months ago. I've been on the hunt for one that doesn't have prostaglandins that actually works. This one I did see a noticeable difference, but it did take a while. I want to say it took like at least 8 weeks for me to really see a difference with this. And I actually was going to repurchase it, but when I went back to buy it again on Amazon, it was out of stock. So I ended up buying something else, and yeah, I don't like what I bought, so I'm trying to use it up now. But once I use that one up, I would probably buy this again because I actually do think it worked. But you do have to be consistent, and it did take a while for me to see any type of result with that one, but I liked it. Okay, Tower 28 mascara. This is one mascara that's more expensive that I do really like, and I do recommend. This does a little bit of everything. It adds length, it adds volume, it separates really well. I like the brown one, so this is the brown color, and this is also a formula that I feel like gets better the longer it's open. I've noticed that both times I used this up recently. It doesn't flake or smudge on me. I really like it. I am really into my waterproof mascaras right now, but I do really like that formula. The Urban Decay Tube Job. Okay, I actually really liked this one too. This one I got in PR, and I honestly didn't expect much from it. I don't love a ton of Urban Decay products, but this one is really great. If you like a tubing mascara, this one is very lengthening, like very, very lengthening. And it does remove easily. So the tubing claim is true. It comes off very easy with warm water. I go through phases where I like tubing mascaras and then phases when I don't. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're harder to remove than others. I don't know why. I can't decide if I really like tubing formulas or not. But I will say this one I did enjoy, and I would recommend it if you're into tubing mascaras. And I love this shade in Brunette Brown. The Makeup by Mario Master Mascara. This is the perfect brown. So he has a black mascara and a brown mascara. I have tried both. I've mentioned this before. I did not love the black version, but for whatever reason, the brown one was better. The formula overall, it didn't clump as easily on me. That was my main complaint with the black one, is I felt like it really clumped my lashes, like pretty significantly, which I don't love. This one did not. And the only difference is the color. So I don't know if the brown formula is a little bit different than the black. I'm not sure, but this is an intense mascara. So this gives a lot of volume. So if you don't want that and you want something more natural, I definitely would not recommend this. This is very comparable to YSL Lash Clash. If you're familiar with that, this is very similar. It did not flake on me or smudge at all, and I really liked the brown. So I would only recommend the brown in this formula, but I did like it. And finally, the L'Oreal Voluminous Balm Mascara. Okay, this is very similar to e.l.f. Lash and Roll, which I love. Very natural, does not give volume at all. This is like a lash tint, very similar to the e.l.f. This one does not have the curved wand like the e.l.f. one, but the effect is the same. So this is a very natural lash tint. For really light makeup days, I like this a lot. It removes easily. This is one no one talks about. It came out a few years ago, and it's one of my favorite mascaras at the drugstore for really light makeup days. All right, that was a lot. That is everything I have used up in my empties bin. I hope this was helpful. I love sharing the products that I would actually buy with my own money, that I would repurchase, and of course the things that I wouldn't. So hopefully this helps you, maybe gives you some ideas or recommendations, and I feel like you can just really speak to a product once you've used it all the way up. So I think these videos are really valuable, and I hope you enjoyed it. So everything that I talked about, I will link in the description box. I will link as many as I can in YouTube shopping on the screen for you as well. If you do shop through my links, I do make a commission that supports my channel, so thank you so much for that. If you're new, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe, and make sure to follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. I have lots of videos coming up, so make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you.